So then Angie asks, what should she be concerned about? And another friend says, oh, he has a high sex drive. And I'm like, what's going on here? Time out. What's happening? Um, think about this, y'all. Okay. This is your homeboy and whom you love. It goes back, y'all go back to college. You want to make sure, allegedly, that he has the right woman for him, right? So you come, you're serious. It's three of y'all. Wouldn't you, out of all the questions you can ask, okay, you can ask questions about her to get to know her more. Can you tell us about this, or what do you think about this, or what are your views? Or you can even reference him, like he does this and he's this way and this way. What do you think about that? Both friends, these are the questions they've asked. Um, in the bedroom, are you conservative or not? Other friend, oh, he got a high sex drive. Why is this whole conversation about sex, y'all? I'm concerned here. What's up, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of Mini Thoughts with Dr. T. I hope y'all are doing well today. Today we are going to be reviewing Ready to Love Season 10, Episode 8. I got the episodes all mixed up last episode, so my bad. I don't know what I was saying, but we on 8. We on 8. Okay. And this task for this week, the women are meeting the guys' friends. Okay. Um, and y'all meeting somebody's friends, your significant other's friends, that's one of the most important things that you will do because you got to remember that these are the people that are going to be in his ear. These are the people that are going to be in his head. These are the people that are going to be giving him advice when you're not there. Okay. So it's very important when you are dating, you need to get to know who are his friends. Are they level headed? Um, Are they unbiased? Can they call him out on his stuff? Can they hold him accountable? Okay, and this works both ways for women and men, but just in this context, we're talking about men. So I think that's just so important. And I told this story before, when I was, I guess, talking to my husband, before we even got to the stage where we were dating, that's one of the things that I wanted to know. So he set up like a group date because Floyd Mayweather was fighting. He had a fight or something. So I was like, why don't you order that fight? You know what I'm saying? So he did. He invited his friends over and I came with a girlfriend. And I was just listening, to the conversation. Are they real silly acting? Do they have girlfriends? How do they talk about their girlfriends? And just kind of listening to what was going on back and forth and just kind of trying to see, what's going on here. What's the dynamic? And they turned out to be all right. So, we started talking or whatever, but I just think that that's just so important, you know, because even when you guys are going through something or whatever, he's going to be leaning on them and depending on them. So you want those people to be giving him the proper advice and telling him the right thing. Okay. All right. So with that, we start off with oh, you know what? I gotta go on a tangent. I always do the wrong button. Okay, hold on.
This is a tangent.
Okay, this is a tangent. One of the ideas I had for this, I think they should have another concept in Ready to Love called, it can be called anything, but I'm just calling it like the love connection. And this is when two people on the show decide that they want to leave together. Like, because the whole, I know this is a game, but the whole point of the show is to find somebody. I don't know if y'all remember, if y'all are real Ready to Love fans, if y'all remember that season with Cornelius and I forgot what her name was, but they got married. The first episode on this season, they showed the marriage or whatever. On their season, they liked each other from episode 1, but to stay on the show, you have to get other people to like you because if they know that, oh, you locked in with that person, they're gonna vote you off because why are you here? You don't want us. So I think that, and that just defeats the whole point. So I think they should do something where, all right, if two people agree, like, yep, we found our match, that you can go off the show together, and it's not seen negatively, like, oh, we had to self eliminate, but it's like, oh, good job, you guys found a love connection. That's awesome, you know. And I think it'll also create a cool dynamic because it creates pressure. All right. So think about this. Maybe a guy is telling a woman like, "Oh yeah, it's you. You know, you the one." Da da da. And she like, "Okay, cool. Well, let's be a love connection." And he like, and she's like, "Oh, what?" See, I think it could create a whole dynamic. So women or men are going to be putting the pressure on the other person, like, "Come on, let's just leave together." You know, so I just think that should be because that's the point. But I just think the way they set it up is kind of weird. Even the whole voting people off and stuff. I don't know. I just feel like it should be everybody should stay on the show for 10 weeks or whatever it is. And then at the end, you know, people get to choose or whatever, you know, but voting people off, it's like, what if everybody votes Johnny off? But I like Johnny, but because of the dynamics of the show, he got to go. I just think it doesn't make sense. But anyway, tangent over. Okay, we back. All right. So the first couple that we see is Jay and Kiki. So Kiki asked Jay's friend, how is Jay in relationships? And Jay's friend said he's very committed. Even when he was really young. I think he was in a relationship with his girlfriend out of high school, and they were in a relationship for 11 years. And Kiki made a good point. Just because you're in a relationship with 11 years doesn't mean that it's all good. It could have been toxic, you know. Um, and for me, I mean, I see where his friend was coming from. It does show a level of commitment, I guess, but I always think it's best for now. If you found the love of your life out of high school, I know it happens, right? But I think that's rare. And I think the most healthy thing is to have at least a couple. Now, I'm not saying you know, you sleeping around and being with everybody, but you need at least 3 or 4 good relationships post high school, post college. I think that's before you get married because I think that shows you what you like, what you don't like, what you're gonna go for, what you're not gonna go for. You learn a lot of good lessons. You find yourself, you learn yourself. You know, at 22, how many of us knew ourselves at 22? I mean, you know, you change so much. You should still be the same person at your core, but you know, we just change so much. So I think it's healthy when you have a couple of different relationships and you can then around 25, 26 kind of enter into knowing who you are, what you're looking for, and you're confident in that. So I don't know. Him being in one relationship for 11 years, I'm kind of with Kiki on that. That doesn't necessarily mean that he's grown or he's this committed person. And then a lot of times too, what happens when people are in long relationships like that out of college, I think a part of them feels like I missed out on something. I missed out on my wild years. I missed out on being able to be with different women and all of that. So sometimes, you know, once those relationships dissolve, they kind of go crazy and they out here with everybody. So I'm hoping that's not Jay's situation. All right. So and then she says she has 2 kids and he has 2 kids. So she also asked the friend, like, how do you think that would work? And I love the questions. These are so good. I told y'all last episode I hate when they ask silly questions like, well, what's his favorite food? Do it snore? No. So I like that Kiki's using asking some good questions here. So the friend says, I mean, it'd be like the Black Brady Bunch, you know what I'm saying? I didn't like that answer. I don't know even what that means. Like, okay, it's a lot of kids. Like, that's not answering my question. So I wish Kiki would have digged a little bit deeper in that. Um, I mean, I know it's not up to them, but it's like, are Jay's kids open to having siblings? Are they excited about that? And just understand having I got 3, y'all. I got 3 boys, and the time commitment from 1 to 3 is real insane. And our kids are younger, but it's a lot of gonna take up a lot of your time to have 4 kids. They're both used to having 2, so you're gonna go from 2 to 4, and I think Jay's kids live with him, so they would have a house of 4, you know, that's a lot to consider, so I do like the question. I really didn't get anything out of what the, boyfriend I mean, I'm sorry, the, Jay's friend, said about them having a Black Brady Bunch. I'm not sure what she was supposed to derive from that. But I will say they really seem to have really good chemistry, and I think they really do like each other a lot. So, All right, so then we move over to Tay and Cisco. Tay, run, girl, run. What are you doing? Trust your instincts. Like, he don't have no car, sis. He don't have no place of his own. So I'm not sure why she's still pursuing this. Um, and then Cisco says, so his friends come in and he says he speaks to his friends more than he speaks to his family. And I'm gonna just use my clock it button. For me, I just remember on maybe 2 or 3 episodes ago when he was like, his mama don't fool with him or whatever, and then he's talking about he, talked to his friends more than his family. I'm just wondering, I just would wanna know more about the family dynamic and what's really going on with him and his whole situation. Maybe since we're on reality TV, I don't know if maybe he doesn't wanna divulge, but I just still feel like, what's really happening? What I know he said he was in a divorce and that took all his money. I don't know. Just the whole I'm always, people have different family dynamics, but when people have fallen out with their mom, especially, I always kind of see that as a red flag. And not all moms are perfect. Some moms are toxic. I understand that too. But I would just want to dig into that a little bit more. But anyway, so Tay mentioned that Cisco has everything she wants, but there are some things that she questions. And Cisco butts in, so yeah, like a car. And I'm like, yeah, Cisco, that's valid. And so Tay was like, okay, well, since you want to go there, I'm looking for somebody that is financially stable. And Cisco's friend mentions that Tay, your words, it hurt Cisco. It really hurt him. Y'all, and this is what I'm talking about these friends. I didn't like it. I didn't like that response. I don't think Tay did anything wrong. I think it's very valid to say, "Hey, I'm concerned as a woman." Our stereotypical thing for a man is to protect and provide. Can you provide for me? I think she might be what 35. I think Cisco's in his 30s. You don't own a vehicle and you don't have a place of your own. Like I don't know why how Cisco was hurt by that. I don't know, maybe she said it crazy, something that we didn't see. Maybe it was off camera, but I thought that was a very valid concern. So I'm questioning friend number one, but friend number two saved the day. He said, you know what? Um Cisco is trying really hard and I always see him grinding and I know that he's not gonna give up. So I like that a little bit more. Um the other friend was kind of trying to defend Cisco. And that's the thing with these friends, you want a friend that is unbiased as possible and is able to hold their friend accountable. So I get weary when I see a friend that's always going to be on their friend's side, no matter what, good, bad, or indifferent. That's not really what I'm looking for. So it's like, yeah, you really hurt him. I'm like, saying what? The truth? Like what? But again, maybe something happened off camera that we weren't privy to. Um, and again, I don't know what Tay is doing. It's like, are you willing to wait, Tay? How long is it gonna take him to get back on his feet? I mean, does he have a plan? Is he working towards something? And you gotta be careful because, I feel like Tay, it might be all good in the beginning because this is new and it's the honeymoon stage and he got all these muscles and all this stuff. Month 9, month 10, when you still driving over there to pick him up so y'all can go on dates, you gonna start resenting him. When you wanna go on a little vacation, he like, "Baby, I ain't got it." Are you gonna pay every time? And again, that's not disparaging, Cisco, that's not saying he's a bad person, but in my opinion, I don't know why in the world he signed up for Ready to Love. I think he needs to be ready to get himself together first. And this is for all men. Like you need to have yourself in a financially stable situation, emotionally, mentally, physically, before you're ready to take on, a woman. In my opinion, so I don't know how he's in this situation, and he says, "You know what? I'm gonna sign up for Ready to Love." Yeah, I don't know why, but I think Tay needs to trust her instincts here. Okay, so then we go over to Angie and Kim. And I already told y'all I'm done with Angie. Okay. She drove herself. She drove herself to the hospital, y'all. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm still not over that. Okay. 2 episodes in. Look, okay, I'm moving on. I got on that tangent last episode. I'm moving on. She drove herself. She's still best friends with her ex, and she loves to argue just to make up. And it's 3 strikes and you out. So I'm done with Angie. Um, but then we got Cam, and Cam is problematic too, in my opinion. Every episode he says something very, very questionable. Yeah, because you got to fall in line when you come home. I don't know what that means. I don't know. And then with Sahara, when they were about to vote Sahara off. Like, yeah, she went off the rails, but I got her under control. I don't like it. The producer asked him, "Are you controlling?" No, I'm not controlling. I'm just aware. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. So maybe they good for each other. I don't know. So Cam's best friend is a woman. I already told y'all I don't do opposite sex best friends. Say what you want. Say what you want. But I would have seen her and walked right on out. Um, and then I'm with Sahara. Like, why is it 3 of y'all? I feel like at this point, Cam, you should have been able to narrow it down to at least 2. I feel like he's enjoying this a little bit more than he should. So Rose asks, what is it about Cam that's holding him back from being in a relationship? And Cam's friend said he gives people too many chances. And too many chances essentially. I didn't like that answer. I feel like again, that's one of those answers when you're in an interview and they ask you, what are your weaknesses, and you try to spin it and make it a positive. And like Cam said, nobody's perfect, right? Cam said that. So it's like, sis, tell us the real about Cam. Like, why is he really not in a relationship? I think he do too much. Y'all know me. But so then Cam mentioned something about, I can't remember exactly, but he kept saying something about him being a leader and him leading. Y'all, Angie got so triggered. She was like, ooh. She started scratching and itching. She like couldn't sit still. I was like, what's happening here? Angie was like, there go that word again. Ooh, leadership. And I was like, Angie, what's happening? I told y'all. I told y'all. She drove herself. When she said she drove herself to the hospital in labor, I knew it. I knew something was up. Remember, I told you, I said, that's deep, y'all. That's deeper than what you thinking. And this scene right here, I was like, okay. So yeah, he said the word leadership, and she started itching uncontrollably. She said, "There go that word again." And Cam's friend chimes in and says, "It would be hard for Cam not to lead and protect." And Angie says, "What if I want to do something by myself? I'm gonna tell him to sit down, y'all." It's a lot. That's strike 4 for Angie, by the way. And y'all remember this. Nobody's forcing anybody to be married in this world. Nobody's forcing anybody to be in a relationship in this world. And I think Angie just needs to chill and be by herself. I don't think she needs a relationship right now. I think the dynamic that she has with her ex as her best friend, that weird setup, I think that's actually perfect for her. So I think she just needs to, I mean, what kind of relationship? I don't know what she's looking for, because she's like, I want a relationship, but every turn she's trying to do it herself. So I'm like, and she sounds a little bit more light on this, and we'll talk about that later in the vault. But I fell out laughing. I was like, I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. I ain't never heard nobody that drove themselves in labor. Now, if you have to and nobody's around, that's different. But not your man right there. And you say, nah, baby, sit in the passenger seat. I got it. Oh, okay, okay. I'm stop talking about that. Okay, okay. Um, so however, I'm gonna talk about both sides of my mouth. I will say we do need to understand Cam's definition of leadership. Like I said, I'm still a little leery with Cam. In my opinion, I think that he sees things very black and white. I think he's very much so the type of man where men do this and women do that. And these are the roles, and there's no gray area. And I think that can be very problematic. Like I said, I was concerned when he was like, "Yeah, you can do all that and have your career, but when you come home, you got to fall in line." That scared me because I don't know what he means by fall in line. You see what I'm saying? So leadership submitting to men is okay when the man is also submitted to a higher power, and if he's a good person, he's looking out for you, but you can't just be submitting to everybody, okay? And Cam, we got to find out more. I don't know. I feel like that might be one of the reasons why he's single and his relationships don't work. I know sis said, "Oh, he get too many people too many chances," but I don't know. I'm not buying it. I think it's him. Okay, so then Rose makes it a point to let Cam know that she's a nurturer and she takes care of her man. She kept saying that like in every she was with Cam and Hussein and maybe somebody else, and she kept making a point to let people know how much she take care of her man and she is a nurturer. And I like that, but you gotta watch out, Rose. I feel like Rose is a people pleaser and she can be a little performative. And I feel like she does all those things to keep a man and so he won't leave more than that's just who she is and she's just naturally nurturing, you see. So, because I just remember last episode when her ex was like, dang, she is kind of smothering, so that I don't know. I don't know. I feel like there's some people pleasing mixed up in there that she masquerades as I'm a nurturer type of thing. So then Sahara was there too with Cam. And Sahara was wondering how Cam was going to choose, like I was, because he had three of them. She says it's up to him, but she's the obvious choice. I'm the obvious choice. You know how she be doing. She's so funny. And she leaves and tells him, you need to choose wisely. And I'm like, Sahara, you're doing too much. You're doing too much. Okay. You have the right mindset. It is up to him. He does need to choose. But don't ever chase a man. Don't do that. Um, Always know when a man wants you, he'll pursue you. Period. It's that simple. You don't have to beg him to call you. You don't have to beg him to text you. Why you ain't do this, do that. He not that interested. It's real simple. So next we go over to Deanna Tate and Khalil. Okay, so Deanna, like I said, I feel like Deanna's gonna have a hard time being in a relationship because she always wants to be in competition with a man, in my opinion. And show that whatever you can do, oh, I can do it too. So I think it's gonna be hard for her. I can't see her being with Khalil. She also doesn't have any other connections. Oh yes, Naeem, but so I think she will probably be going home next. Anyway, the date with Khalil was pretty funny. Deanna says she doesn't care, we know, if she hears from her man for the entire day. Because remember, Deanna's a firefighter and she can't be texting. She don't work in no desk, no office. She can't just be pulling out her phone and texting all day, okay? Even though we know that they be in there playing cards. All right. Um, but Tay was the complete opposite. She was like, I better hear from you because if I don't, who else you talking to? And her energy was just like, whoa. I don't think they'll fit too. Khalil is he seems so sweet, so nice, so laid back. I don't see it for either one of them. I Deanna would be trying to compete with him at every turn. And Tay's energy, I just feel like that would drain him. So then Deanna also met with Naeem. Again, just like Cisco, I'm not sure what you're doing, Deanna. Naeem has 5 kids. I don't understand how he's still on the show. Um, so the first topic about Naeem is about Naeem having the 5 kids. And I'm glad they didn't sweep that under the rug and they addressed this about him having 5 kids and how that will work with the ladies. Deanna is skeptical because she doesn't have any kids. And if she did want kids, that means they would, have 6 or 7 or more. And she thinks that's too much. She's also concerned about potential baby mama drama, which is valid as well. Um, and then so with who else was there? Was it Tay? I think it was Tay. Yeah, so she also has 2 kids. So they would automatically together have 7 kids and not less they want something together, then that's 8 or more. So Naeem says that they don't have to worry about being a mom to his kids because he does enough for himself and the kids. Um, y'all, all I can think is that it's because he's light skinned and has good hair and he's a gym owner. Cause I don't know what's happening. I don't know why he's still on the show. If I feel like if Fritz had 5 kids or Jay had 5 kids, I think they would have been off the show by now. I'm sorry. I just do. 'Cause Naeem presents well, he speaks very well. You can tell he has good upkeep. He looks good. So that's the only thing. I'm thinking they're being blinded right now. And don't believe anybody that says, "Oh, you don't gotta be a mom or a dad to my kids." I just don't think that's true. Like, what are you gonna do if the kids are at the house? You know, if they need a snack or they need help with homework or they need this or that, or it's his weekend with the kids and he has to run 2 of them to a game and the other 3 gotta be somewhere. Are you just gonna say, "Oh, no, I'm not helping with the kids"? No, you're not gonna say that. So you are gonna have to be involved. Um, so I wouldn't trust him on that piece. I think if you're gonna date him, you have to be ready to be involved with 3 baby mamas and 5 kids at some point. Um, 2 is probably the most I could do. I'm sorry. 5 is insane, and, again, that doesn't make him a bad person at all. It seems like he's done the work and all the things, but it just couldn't be with me, okay? So they asked Naeem's friend, what does he think Naeem needs to work on when it comes to relationships? His friend says trusting women because when it starts to get serious and love creeps in, he's seen Naeem shy away or even sabotage the relationship. Come on, friend. Yes. And this is what I'm talking about. This is a good friend. Okay. This is what you're looking for. Excellent. I love that. Um, he's telling the real, even if it might hurt his friend, he's being unbiased and he was like, this is what it is. I love that. That's somebody you can trust. If you were dating Naeem, I would love that he has somebody in his corner. Now his friend got 7 kids too. I don't know what's happening. Okay, in the water down there, wherever they at. But I did like that. I thought that was excellent. That's what you're looking for when you go meet somebody's friends. Can they tell me what's real or are they gonna be on their friend's side no matter what? All right, so Rose and Hussein. Whew, I'm trying to get through this one. All of Hussein's friends are like 10 feet tall, by the way. So I guess they all play basketball, and these are all his friends from college. And I like seeing friendships that have spanned decades and multiple years. That's always a good thing. You've seen them grow up, you've grown with them, seen them in different phases, and you can really speak to their character. And I really like Rose and Hussein together. I thought they had similar upbringings, with them being in the foster care system and all of that. But, I don't want them to trauma bond, but I thought maybe they had similar backgrounds. But then Rose says that Hussein is not the best at texting back and communicating. So I didn't like to hear this because, like I told y'all, if a man is into you, he's gonna talk to you very simply. He wants to know what you're doing. He wants to know how your day is going. He wants to know how you're feeling, you know? So I wonder if Hussein is really into Rose, or if Rose is just the best option for him on the show. So then one of Hussein's friends asked Rose, how is she in the bedroom? Is she conservative or is she open to try new things? I thought this was wildly inappropriate. I would have been like, you're not going to be in the bedroom with me. So what does it matter to you? I thought that was weird to ask. Then he lets us know that he's poly and he doesn't think that you can find everything you need in one person. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Um, like I told y'all, these are the people that are influencing. These are his best friends. These are the people that are putting things in his head. And friend is saying, hey, I don't think you can find everything in one person. I would be concerned about that. I would be very concerned. Because if something go down, he'll be like, "Well, I told you." I mean, you trying to be over there being married and all that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-mm. So then Angie comes in and she knows the friend that is Polly. So, which was weird. I was like, wait, how do y'all know each other? And he says he's a professional dominator. I don't even want to know. Um, she said she was a bartender and she used to bartend at some of this guy's events. And I'm guessing this has to do with the whole BDSM lifestyle. I was wondering if Angie and him was lying because, and this could just be Angie's personality because she been itching the whole show, but she was just like looking off and stuff. And I was like, dang, like, is something else going on between y'all that y'all not trying to say? I don't know. Um, so then the friend said, "Well, why can't y'all all be together? Hussein, Rose, and Angie." He probably was low key joking, y'all, but I don't like it. I don't like it. I just wouldn't want him to be in my man's ear. So another one of Hussein's friends says one of Hussein's flaws is that he loves hard and fast. And I would just need to hear more about this. I would want to dig more into that. I just don't know how to feel about these friends. Let's say Hussein found somebody. Are they gonna be like, oh, there you go, calling her all quick and stuff? Look at you, falling all fast. Nah, man. See what you supposed to do? You're supposed to text her every 3 days. You know, it's giving some two can play that game type energy. I don't know what they be telling him. Um, so then Angie asks, what should she be concerned about? And another friend says, oh, he has a high sex drive. And I'm like, what's going on here? Time out. What's happening? Um, think about this, y'all. Okay. This is your homeboy and whom you love. It goes back, y'all go back to college. You want to make sure, allegedly, that he has the right woman for him, right? So you come, you're serious. It's three of y'all. What you out of all the questions you can ask? Okay. You can ask questions about her to get to know her more. Can you tell us about this? Or what do you think about this? Or what are your views? Or you can even reference him like he does this and he's this way and this way. What do you think about that? Both friends, these are the questions they've asked. Um, in the bedroom, are you conservative or not? Other friend, oh, he got a high sex drive. Why is this whole conversation about sex, y'all? I'm concerned here. I'm really concerned. And I'm gonna clock it. What I'm about to clock, y'all, I think I'm starting to think that Hussein is not this quiet, innocent, humble, nice guy that he portrays. Okay. You are the company you keep. I'm sorry, you just are. We gravitate to people who think like us, who act like us. I'm not talking about a carbon copy, but people that have similar views, you like the same things. So from hearing these friends that are into all they talk about evidently and into are just sex and dominatrix and poly and yeah, because when we was in college, all he used to do is have sex. It's like, I don't know. If I was Rose and Angie, I would be out on Hussein. Like his friends did not do him justice here at all. And I would be, like I said, I would be concerned of what they're telling him, what their conversations are like. It's probably all gonna be about sex. Y'all ain't had sex yet. When y'all gonna have sex? How many times is she doing this for you? Oh, but did she flip over in the bed and do that? Oh, she don't do that. See, I told you, man. You gotta find you somebody else. I I'm out. I'm out. Um, so then his friend says that Hussein is very dependable and they know they can call him anytime and he'll be there and he'll answer. And Andy says, well, that's funny because he'll be answering when I call. See what I'm saying? I'm out on Hussein. And it just further proves my point. I just think that he puts on this nice guy. And he probably might be, maybe he is nice, but he puts on a image. I think he's performing right on this show. Because Rose and Angie say that he hasn't texted or called them back. And I just don't think he really likes them for real. I just think these are the options he has on the show. So he's like, well, I got to pick somebody. I'm gonna just pick them two. But obviously, he's not into them. Like I said, when a man is into you, he's gonna pursue you. He wants to know what you're thinking, where you're at, what you're doing, how you're feeling. That's just natural with somebody you're really into. So so then we go to the vault, and y'all know I've been giving Angie a hard time about being she drove herself to that hospital, Lord. So anyway, she opened up to the women. She let us know she has 11 older siblings. Wow. And people are always calling on her for something. Whether that be money or advice or encouragement or whatever. And to me, I would think that you would want somebody to help share the load. You know what I'm saying? But I guess in her situation, that's kind of empowered her to be this super duper independent type of woman. So she kind of broke down. And Tommy said maybe she should talk to Cam about that and maybe Cam could help her. I don't think Cam is the answer. I think Cam is too far. on the lead. I think she needs to take baby steps. She needs somebody that's going to be able to take baby steps with her. Kim is going to be trying to take her all the way. Okay. Um, but anyway, it was a really good show. I enjoyed it. Um, and that's all I have. And so I will be back next episode, and which will be episode 9. I got the episodes right this time. Okay. So with that, I'll see y'all. Thank you.